Hola, clase. ¿Cómo están? Excelente. And welcome to a brand new week of learning with Senor Cow Cow. Today's video is either for Spanish 2 or anyone in Spanish 3 who's looking for more practice with ser and estar. So, I was grading your online test last week, and there were a number of things that I discovered. Number one, we have some work to do. Uh, some people really chose the wrong one almost every time. The other thing that I saw was people not making any kind of subject verb agreement. Like, for example, if it was something like uh, the men are blank and it's supposed to be tall, most people out of everyone said alto, but it should be altos because it's two men. There was another picture of a woman who was nervous, and people described her as nervioso when it should have been nerviosa because that was a woman. All right, that's a female. So, what I'm going to do this Wednesday, I'm creating a whole new test as a makeup test. It will go live at 8 a.m. and it will expire a minute before midnight on Wednesday. All right. This is to give y'all another chance to get a higher grade. So there were two main things that I saw. Number one, people not taking their time. When I look at the answers on Quiz, I can see how long you spent on the question. And some of these, it was wrong, and you had 60 seconds and you used 12. Okay, so be mindful of that. There's no hurry with this test. The other thing was I noticed that people were cheating, and I'm 100% sure this was happening because there was a word on the test, and it was the bully is blank, and you had to write the word for mean, which is antipatico. It's the word I taught you. It's the word we went over. It's the word we practiced. And people typed it into Google Translate and got the word medio or media, which is the mathematical term mean, meaning average. The other answer I got was significar, which is what the website Spanish Dict gives you, which is the verb that means to mean, like this story means blah, blah, blah. Okay. I cannot tell you how disappointed I was and how disheartened I was. There were probably somewhere between 10 and 15 people who had that exact answer that I know was from the internet. Okay. What you guys have to remember when you take a test, the teachers are doing our best to combat the cheating, but it's no different from being in the classroom, asking other people for answers, looking things up, using your notes. None of these things are allowed in the classroom, nor are they allowed on my test. Okay? So this is me telling you very seriously as your teacher, if I know that you're cheating again, and I'm good at this stuff, y'all. This is my 14th year of teaching. If I know for sure that you're cheating, I will write you up. Okay? It's not fair to everyone else who's actually trying, and it's not fair to me. All right? So don't do it. That being said, let's get a new beginning here, all right? And even if I didn't catch you cheating, hopefully you were not. And if you were, quit while you're ahead. Don't get caught. Whatever you get is better than a zero, a phone call, and a write up, all right? Keep that in mind. I'm saying that as someone who wants you to succeed, but also someone who is not taking any kind of mess like that. All right. So, like I said, I'm giving y'all one extra day. We were going to move on with verb conjugation, but there were enough people that didn't do that well on the test who I think need extra help. So we're going to spend one extra day on ser and estar, and then tomorrow we'll get back to verb conjugation. All right, so let's start with the warm up. Okay, so this is a practice on making things match. Okay, so this is something we don't do in English, it doesn't exist. We say the boy is tall, the boys are tall. It could be 1,000 boys and it is still tall. Okay? So here, the first three, you have a bunch of things that do not match. All right? And just for the sake of simplicity, let's make it all line up to whatever comes first. Make everything match that. Okay? So el and chicas is not matching. Just to get you off on the right foot, this should say uh, the boy is tall. Okay? And so on. Number 4, 5, and 6, this is when you have to translate this into Spanish. And as you do, here's a very important piece of advice. Always visualize, picture who you're describing. Is it one person? Is it two people? And that goes for we as well. If I say we are tired, that's at least two people. All right. Also, picture in your mind, is it a female? Are you describing a girl or a woman or a house? Is it feminine? Is it two things that are feminine? Two girls, two houses. Those things would require an ending with something like as. Okay? All right. So go ahead, get some practice in. Saque papel and pause the video and try this now. All right, for number one, here's what we can do. We can say el chico es alto. All right, one boy. El chico es alto. Alternatively, what we could have done, really, is we could have said las chicas son altas. Here we have two girls. Notice the as. Las chicas son altas. If I were making a long sentence, everything would be as that applies. Las chicas son altas, um, bonitas. Let's see. Let's say they're quick. Rápidas y I don't know, clever. Listas. This sentence could go on a mile long. It's going to be as, because we're describing two girls. Chicas. Okay? All right, next one. Las casas es rojo. As it is, it says the houses is red. So again, let's picture what we're describing here. We have casas, two houses. So this should say, las casas son rojas. Las casas son rojas. Okay, you have to get used to this because we don't do it in English at all. At all. Like I told you, the closest thing you have is that blonde describes a boy and blonde with an E describes a girl. But in Spanish, we do this all the time. Okay, now the last one we have here for this, nosotros somos bajo. Okay, again, if we picture who we're describing, we have at least two, maybe more. Okay, nosotros somos bajos. We are short. It's almost like saying we are shorts because you're pluralizing. The houses are reds. Everything matches. It has to. Okay? All right, the dogs are ugly. Once again, if you picture how many things, it's at least two. So we're going to say los perros son feos. Número cinco, the girl is nervous. La chica está nerviosa. So it's está because that's how she's feeling. That's something you have to know for tomorrow, or for Wednesday, I should say. And then nerviosa, that is a female. All right, and the last one, the books are big. Los libros son Los libros son grandes. The books are big. Another plural thing. Los libros grandes. All the way across. Okay. So like I said, retest is on Wednesday. Midnight is the deadline, 1 minute before midnight. Okay. So let's go back over our little notes here about ser and estar. And if you got an A on the test, or like a high B, you don't really, of course, you don't have to retest. I really would hope that not everyone does. But if that's you, you don't have to really worry about this so much. You can kind of pay attention to the video and just kind of listen. But all of this is for those who need to do better, which is a lot of you. And I'm not saying that in an insulting way. I'm just saying, based on numbers, a lot of you guys need a little more practice on this. All right, so the verb set is used for all these things: telling what time it is, saying the date, characteristics, origin, nationality. So origin could be like, I'm from France, he is from Germany. Nationality is the country in which you are a citizen. If you say yo soy americano, That is your nationality. It's the nation that you are a member of. Okay, he is Mexican, she is Spanish. Material is what something's made of. Possession, saying who something belongs to. Occupation is what your job is. Like if you want to say, my mom is a doctor. And then identity is simply telling who someone is. He's my cousin, she's my friend. Okay, and your conjugations. Soy, eres, es. Somos, sois, son. Soy, I am. Eres, you are. Es, he or she is. Somos, we are. Sois, y'all in Spain are. And then son, they are, or you all are. So example, ser again, what you should remember saying, I wonder if I should use ser on this one, or even out in the real world when you're speaking, should I say ser or estar? Ser will always reveal something about who someone is. Maybe it's what they look like. He's tall. Maybe it's his personality. He's shy. Uh, any other characteristics. If someone is young, if someone is rich, what someone looks like. These are all parts of who someone is. Even if you say something like, I'm from Texas, that lets me know something about you. Okay, I know what foods you may have grown up eating. I know how people talk where you live. Okay, so estar, this is the one that goes estoy, estás, está, estamos, estáis, están. Estoy, I am. Estás, you are. Está, he or she is, or you formal are. Estamos, we are. Estáis, y'all in Spain are. And then, of course, están, they are, or you all are. That is for the plural. All those on the right are plural. Okay, so estar, for your test and for your life. Location, where someone is or where something is. My friend is outside the building. My house is in Evans. Condition or emotion. This is how someone is feeling. Okay, and this, I cannot tell you guys how important this rhyme is. How you feel and where you are, always use the verb estar. So let's think ahead to Wednesday. You pull up the test, hit start, and the clock starts ticking. 60 seconds for the first question. And it says, my dog blank big. So ask yourself, all right, is that how the dog feels? No. All right, the time is still ticking, but you have plenty of time. All right, my dog is big. Is that where the dog is? No. Then it's not a star. It's got to be said. Okay? I'm telling you guys, especially for this test, this will take you a long way. Okay? So again, like if you're sick, that's your condition. That's how you're feeling. If you if you want to say something like, "Oh man, my cousin is sick," you say, "Mi primo está enfermo." That is his condition. If it's a girl, "Mi prima está enferma." All right, so you can't forget that. Okay, so let's go over our vocabulary. All right, first of all, let's do our emotions. Okay, I'll try to give everybody just a moment to answer as we go. Alegre, contento, feliz. Triste, deprimido, nervioso, cansado, cansada, enojado. A quick, a quick reminder, if this, for example, is a word that you don't know, let's say it has a picture of someone who's angry, and you have to type something in the blank. Learn this word. If you have trouble with it, study it twice as much. That's the one. Don't look over the easy ones because that's going to leave blanks on your test, okay? Words like cansado, enojado, things like that that are not as easy, study them. Tranquilo, emocionado. This one is busy, occupied. Ocupado. This one is doing fine or doing well. bien, regular, más o menos, tranquilo, enfermo, enferma. And there you go. Your other ones that you have to know are these little positions here. All right. So we can zoom in just one. Okay. So we have al lado, next to, cerca, close, debajo, underneath, delante, in front, dentro, inside, fuera, outside, detrás, behind, encima, on top, lejos, far, and then alrededor, around. So if you need extra practice with these, you can see one of my previous videos where I went over all the little hand gestures and things. Now, one thing that I don't have pulled up is, let me switch back to me for a second. One thing that I don't have pulled up is all the words for ser. But again, these are in your notes. They're in my other videos. They're in your notes. So for example, let's do some. Tall, alto, short, bajo, young, joven, old, viejo. What about big, grande, small, pequeño, handsome, guapo, pretty, guapa, bonita, ugly, feo, athletic, atlético, artistic, artístico, hardworking, trabajador, lazy, perezoso. And there are a few more, I'm sure, but there they are just off the cuff. Now, let me make sure I'm not skipping anything here. Okay, so let me go back to the full screen here. All right, so let me see. I thought that I made one other practice. Okay, must not have. That's okay. All right. So let's see. So we did that. Oh, here it is. Here it is. I found it. All right. Let me move this down. All right. So here's just a super quick example. This is to help you practice up for the test. Now, remember the rhyme. How you feel and where you are, always use the verb estar. So remember to use the rhyme every time if you need to. Not many people used the entire 60 seconds on the test. You have time, especially since this is the second time that you've learned this material and it's your second time taking a test over it this year. Okay, so I'm going to let y'all figure it out. Complete each one with a form of ser or estar. All right, go ahead and pause the video now. All right, number one. Yo estoy cerca de la escuela. This one we know is estar because it says I am near the school. This is my location, it's where I am. Cerca, keyword. Mis amigos son guapos. If you said están, it's not necessarily wrong because, like, if you want to tell somebody, "Oh, you look extra nice today," you can say it with estar. So either one would have been right. So I'll put both just so we can all be right here. If you put the right conjugation for they, my friends are handsome. They are. Número tres. Tú estás enojado hoy. Are you angry today? Are you mad? Número cuatro. Nosotros somos mexicanos. We are Mexican. I'm describing us. We are Mexican. All right. So now I have a Hold on, let me put this in parentheses 1 second. Okay, now I have one last thing, and we're going to do this together. Okay, now this is a sheet that I have posted on Google Classroom. So it may seem like a lot, but I want y'all to get this practice in, not only for the quiz on Wednesday, but just so you'll know this stuff, okay? Because you have to know your basics before you continue. So what I'm going to do is I am going to show you the worksheet, and I want you to pause the video, and then I'm going to go over all the answers. Now, this is not even something we're going to turn in. I do not want this from you, okay? It would be pointless if you just keep the video going and write in all the answers. You wouldn't get the practice. All right, we're going to go over them. So the first part, it says complete with the correct form of ser or estar and say the reason for choosing it. Let's do one together. Number one, tu blank contento. It is tu estás contento. And the reason? Because this is someone's condition or mood. Okay, that's the reason we chose estás. You are happy. That is your mood. Okay, so do that. The next section, change the masculine to feminine and vice versa. So let's do one of these together. So here we have a sentence that says, Las muchachas son altas. The girls are tall. Let's change everything to masculine. Los muchachos son altos. Okay, this is really good practice, y'all. And so on. All right, change the singular to plural and vice versa. So here we have las niñas son buenas. The little girls are good. So since that's all plural, we're going to make it all singular. La niña es buena. The little girl is good. Okay? And finally, we have a translating section. The boys are tired. Okay? So ask yourself, like as if it were the test. All right, the boys are tired. Are we talking about how they feel? Yes. So that's why it's estar. So this one is going to be los chicos están cansados. There you go. All right. So this is on Google Classroom. So you can print it, you can look at it and do this on paper. Whatever you're going to do, I'm about to give you the answers. So go ahead, take care of that, and pause the video now. Okay, good. Just checking. All right. So, number two, ellos son simpáticos. Son simpáticos. They are nice. So, we'll just say description. Okay, it's a characteristic. All right. Yo blank en Mexico. Yo estoy en Mexico. And that one is estar because it is a location. Nosotras somos de Cuba. This is an origin. It just simply says we are from Cuba. That is not where we are. We could be in Georgia talking about this. Oh, we're from Cuba. Oh, that's cool. Número cinco. This one is son las dos de la tarde. This one is simply telling the time. It says it is 2 o'clock in the afternoon. El perro está lejos de la casa. The dog is far from the house. That is his location. Está. La chica está enferma. This is her condition. The girl is sick. That's how she's feeling. Mi amigo es profesor. That is occupation. My friend is a teacher. And finally, Pedro está emocionado. That is his condition. Pedro is excited. He's all jacked up about something. Maybe it's a concert tonight. Okay, change the masculine to feminine and vice versa. El profesor está tranquilo. This would be, my hands. La profesora está tranquila. Now it's a woman. Okay, número tres. Los alumnos son perezosos. All right, so let's make it all feminine. Las alumnas. Sorry, this should be it auto-corrected. Las alumnas son perezosas. The students are lazy, and they're all girls. Las alumnas son perezosas. Okay, now singular to plural. So el director, made plural, is what it says. It is los directores están ocupados. The directors are busy. Las señoritas están nerviosas. La señorita está nerviosa. Okay, the class is interesting. La clase es interesante. Simply describing it. She is depressed. Ella, if you want to say it, está deprimida. Girl. I agree. Oh, we did learn this one. This is estoy de acuerdo. I am of agreement. Don't worry about that one. All right. Are you busy? ¿Estás ocupado? Or ocupada if you're talking to a girl. I am artistic. Yo soy artístico, or artística if you're a girl. And finally, my books are beside the table. Mis libros están al lado de la mesa. My books are beside the table. Okay, so that was all the answers to our practice sheet. All right, and again, if that was too fast, just simply pause and rewind, and you can slow that down for yourself. All right, so that's it. Study for your test Wednesday, your retest. Tomorrow, we are going to get back into verb conjugation, like yo hablo, tú hablas, nosotros hablamos. But until then, study, 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 practice. Know all your words. If you don't know how to say angry, if you don't know how to say far, learn them. Okay? All right, I'll see you soon. Adios.